What are JJ's superpowers? Well, here's one.
Built up anger that was kind of ready to just explode.
He's on the attack at Nodak. The first time without his brother.
Came from the U.S. together, so it was one of those things you had to get used to.
There's a new football team on an area campus, and the Gopher football team provides hope for some kids with life-altering challenges.
I had cancer.
You have cancer?
Yeah, I had it. I beat it.
You beat cancer? Kickoff countdown starts now. Yeah, here we go. So now what? The Vikings' biggest win of the season simply puts them in position to be in the mix for right now, and Baltimore is coming to town. It's easy to be giddy after a win, and they got a big one in Detroit. But a veteran knows that's now old news.
It was an important win for us, but I think it's important to remember that how we won that game, right? It was the kind of the focus, the kind of the backs up against the wall mentality that we had throughout the week, and trying to kind of refocus and kind of get that back. Sometimes after a big win, sometimes you can kind of take a deep breath and be like, oh, finally.
That starts with the Vikings quarterback. McCarthy is one of the most interesting young players I've ever covered. His brain is active all the time, and controlling it will determine his success in the NFL. One of the things he talked about this week is unleashing his anger in a positive way. He says he's been harboring it, especially since he was injured all of last season. He's aware that it's there. He chooses to try to make it a positive.
Came about last year during IR, just never had a full season where, you want to be out there so freaking bad, but you can't. It was just this built up anger that was kind of ready to just explode. And I chose to harness it instead of letting it go into, a self-destructive kind of way. And it's unique, and I kind of love feeding that wolf because my entire life, at Michigan, it was a smiley face on my hand and smile and you have fun, you're going to play better and all that, which is true. But I also think there's a lot of power that comes from, that built up anger.
Now, the Ravens see that too. They have a book on McCarthy, but not a lot to go on given he's only played 3 games. The veteran head coach, the Ravens, sees an unquantifiable quality that scares him the most.
The biggest thing about JJ that I've watched over the years is the guy's a fighter. He's just a real fighter. He's a never say die guy. He never says die within a play. He never says die within a series. Never says die within a game. Never says die within a season or within his career if you look at it.
This division is getting interesting. Chicago wins, Detroit and Green Bay go down, and we got a race in the NFC North. Maybe the top division in football. The Packers look like the team to beat in Week 1 and have been up and down ever since. A loss to Carolina last week as a heavy favorite brings them into the thick of it. They're now trying to reorganize on the fly. And it does not get easier against the world champion Philadelphia Eagles on Monday night.
I think we need better from most everybody. It's never just one person. And that's the thing about football. We can all be better, starting with myself. We got to coach better, and then ultimately we got to go out there and execute better.
The Gopher football team has a bye week, then it's on to high-power Oregon for a Friday night matchup. You would not call this an impressive season, but you can't argue with the 6-3 record. Just doesn't feel like it's been that good. Now they take some time to prepare for the final stretch.
I think we'll kind of build on that in the bye week and get better at the things we need to get better at, and just be super introspective and get better every single week.
Many on that roster suited up in different kinds of uniforms last week with the goal of winning, only this time was measured in helping kids fighting difficult circumstances. And the Gophers proved elite.
Looking good, man. Good choice.
The kids take a look at the walls of the University of Minnesota football program. They're here to celebrate Halloween, but it's so much more. They are here for a party hosted by the Gopher football players.
You want to spin? Spin.
Anywhere? Beautiful.
It is sponsored by a nonprofit called Hope Kids, which holds true to a mission.
Hope Kids provides ongoing events and activities for families that have a child with cancer or other life-threatening medical conditions. So we serve families within the Twin Cities and all of Minnesota.
And that brings us to this night.
You got the best costume so far.
Where children like Addison, dressed as a football with a kick me sign, afflicted with a health issue, find joy with football players. For her, one specific player.
I'm really close with Maverick Baranowski and his family.
He's a pretty good middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Is he pretty encouraging to you?
Yes.
What does he say?
He's just really nice to me and stuff.
What becomes apparent is how passionate the players are in participating in costume because of the connection.
Just for us to go out here and make that day, bring great spirits to us. We know we're going out and serving and giving. That's one of the number priority in this program. Just being able to light our kids' faces up.
For some, it might not be about the players. They're here for several reasons. What do the kids ask you?
Oh, man. They really not asking nothing. They just worried about the candy. That's it.
See, they're only here to have fun, to forget about what could be a life-altering diagnosis, to be whatever it is they are on this night. What's your name?
Maya.
How old are you?
I
Are you having fun tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
They come with smiles, all with different stories. You play wheelchair basketball?
Yeah.
You pretty good?
Yeah.
They made it to nationals last
You made it to nationals last year?
Yeah.
Wow. You having fun tonight?
Yeah.
And sometimes they surprise you with some good news.
I had cancer.
You have cancer?
Yeah, I had it. I beat it.
You beat cancer?
Uh-huh.
How's it feel?
Good.
It's behind you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All packed into one night, where kids matter because the football players make sure of it.
No, not really at all. That's pretty much the culture here. Like we're all a big family, and something like this, like we love giving back. Like Mecky said, it's just a serving and giving thing, and this is something that we're used to doing.
Does Coach Fleck let you eat any of the candy?
Yeah, we get a lot of candy.
What does this mean to Hope kids?
This event means everything. We get to come here, and families get to have a safe spot to trick or treat, and they meet the best football players. I can't say more than enough about these players. They make our kids feel special.
On this night, it is very special for football players and, oh yeah, the trick-or-treaters.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween to many. Their impressive night. There's a football player from the Twin Cities having a breakout season in the Red River Valley. Ren Clayton caught up with Hill Murray grad Sawyer Seidel as he racks up touchdowns.
Boy, Seidel turns it up. It started with a friendly wager between player and coach.
I had to get double digits, otherwise he'd get my chain. So that was our bet. So I don't gotta give him my chain, but he owes me a sweatshirt right now. So
you gotta edit the bet now because you've already blown by it.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to him.
Double-digit touchdowns is ancient history this season for North Dakota's Sawyer Seidel. He's got 14 total end zone trips. That's 6th best in the FCS.
It's easy when you're running on big open gaps every single time. Most of my runs just with the dominating goal line that I have. So, they've made my life easy.
Seidel is a redshirt sophomore. As the season has gone on, he's become the Hawks' lead back and has not looked back.
Man, if I get more touches, I know I can do this and all that. And, at some point, it's like, we've been talking about it so many times now that I got the opportunity. I had to almost walk my talk. And I'm happy my old line has been able to make that a lot easier for me to walk my talk as much as I was talking before with the teammates and all that.
Seidel scored 4 times against Southern Illinois a few weeks ago, but that's nothing compared to his high school best at Hill Murray when he racked up 6 against Benilde as a junior.
Did it remind you a little bit about, Hill Murray days? I know there was a bunch of big games like that.
Yeah, because I kept getting asked if that was the most I've ever scored in a game. Wow. Even like through high school, but I told him 4 was one of the tops, but the most I ever scored was 6. Maybe one of these different games, maybe I'll get there.
Sawyer's little brother Simon is a DB for the Gophers. The two were adopted from the Congo as kids. Sawyer heading to North Dakota 3 years ago was the first time the two have ever been separated.
He's always been by my side. We did everything together. Came in the U.S. together, so it was one of those things you had to get used to. As time went on, you got used to a little bit, and just when you go home, visit each other for a little bit, will kind of helps, minimize I miss my little bro or stuff like that. But I always will miss him. It was always fun playing with them and all that. But we're here now. 3 years later, we're still kicking. We're doing all right.
Ren Clayton, WCCO Sports.
They play some football in that 701 area code. Flag football is growing rapidly here in Minnesota, thanks in large part to funding from the Minnesota Vikings. This fall, another college team announced they're joining the game. WCCO's Marielle Mose has more.
With a single toss from a Johnny to a Benny,
A new era of football begins.
With St. John's being such a powerful football school already, it's just amazing how it can, transfer to St. Ben's now.
Flag football is coming to the College of St. Ben's this spring. It's part of a growing initiative by the Minnesota Vikings. It started a few years ago when the NFL team was investing in flag football at the high school level. And now they're putting resources into colleges. And it's good timing as the players who benefited in high school are graduating and want to keep playing, like Elena Punsak. She played flag football for Mounds View last spring. Now she's a freshman at St. Ben's.
I loved it so much. So over the summer, I had reached out to our athletic director about seeing if it was going to be a possibility here.
Elena says they already have 50 girls who are interested in playing.
So far, that's a really incredible number to have.
Elena has been working with St. Ben's Director of Athletics, Kelly Anderson-Dierks, to launch this new sport on campus.
I'm a firm believer in what athletics does, particularly for women, being able to give them lessons outside of the classroom when it comes to being a good teammate, when it comes to managing your time, when it comes to doing hard things.
One of the big appeals to flag football, it's open to anyone who wants to give it a go.
It's really cool because it's such a new sport. You don't really have to have previous knowledge or experience to play.
I think it's a really exciting time for what the future of flag football could look like.
Marielle Mose, WCCO Sports.
The Wild taking on Carolina tonight. Eden Prairie's Jackson Blake ties it with a goal for the Hurricanes. A minute later, Maple Grove's Brock Faber gives the Wild the lead. Yeah, it's Minnesota hockey. Fire wagon hockey slowed down then. The Hurricanes got the final one, and it was big. Nikolai Ehlers for the win. Carolina over the Wild, 4-3. That's your kickoff countdown for the week. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow, rate, and share. Join us every Friday wherever you get your podcast to discover what's at stake on game day, from the Vikings to the Gophers and beyond. And make sure to watch the live kickoff countdown Thursday nights at 10:15 on WCCO.